Corner to Corner podcast on this extremely hot day. My name's Jeff, and you might have noticed I've got a different background behind me. I'm in the lounge because it's too hot to work anywhere else. Paul is braving it in his office. How are you getting on there?
Yeah, I'm not too bad, actually. I've got a megawatt fan blasting out around my legs at the moment, so that's keeping me cool. And my feet are in a bath of cold water with ice, so that's good for now.
Are they really?
When it melts, it'll be a different story.
Well, we've got a very special guest with us today, haven't we? Ben Robinson is here from Master Replicas. Afternoon, Ben. How are you?
Hot, slightly bothered. I haven't got a bath of ice. That sounds like such a good idea now, but I'm surviving. I'm very glad to be here.
Same, yes. So thank you for joining us. So Ben is here to talk with us about all sorts of things, but particularly Battles in Time, the Doctor Who trading card game that
Very
was
exciting.
enormously popular back in the day and has now returned to much excitement, I think we must say. So we're going to get into all that in a minute, and then a bit later we'll have a look at some of these as well that we've got here, and Ben
Very
can
excited.
talk to those about. So Ben, let's kick things off. Tell us a little bit about Battles in Time, what it is, and how it sort of came to be 20 odd years ago, and how it's come back now.
So 20 years ago, Doctor Who had just come back.
Yes.
We'd had the Christopher Eccleston season, and there's a category of product called Partworks, which are basically magazines that come with something, and they're kind of continuity sets, so you build them into a collection. And the sort of tender went out to do Doctor Who, and my boss at the time, Peter Edwards, was a very wise man, said this program is for 9-year-old boys who've been listening to Russell, and the only thing that 9-year-old boys care about is trading cards. There was a slight problem with this, though. So the BBC wanted to license trading cards separately. So they didn't want to make them available as a category for Partworks. But we decided that what we would do is we would bid for the trading card rights as well, and do the two things together. And the rest is kind of history. We printed, at the time, there were 32,000 newsagents in the UK. And there were 32,000 32 packs in a counter display unit in a box of trading cards. So we printed 1 million packs, and we thought, God, that's a lot. That's going to last us a lot of time. And they sold out within the first week.
Wow.
So that's one of those kind of extraordinary moments in your career where you're kind of like, oh, that worked. There was a big scramble to try and print more and to get them out. And then, for the next couple of years, we had a whole team working on them all the time. We did something like over 1,000 cards. I remember doing some stat about if you stack them on top of one another, they'd reach the top of Mount Everest.
That's quite a few.
So quite a few, yeah. And obviously, it was a big success. I mean, what's gratifying is to discover how much it's remembered by people, and that it's sort of part of a kind of golden moment in Doctor Who's history, I guess. It turned up on EastEnders. It was a storyline on EastEnders. Someone's Doctor Who trading cards got washed in Dret. So you get a kind of moment in the sun of kind of cultural relevance.
Yeah. But that's quite interesting. That and I suppose you do see it now, and it happens with stuff. But you printed 1 million cards or packets, and thought we'll probably have these sitting around for ages. And then, great success. And then that, like you said, that scramble and panic to try and get more printed. And, it happens now, doesn't it? Have you heard of Nidos, these little squishy cube type things? And there's a toy shop in town that I take my kids to, and they're saying, they got them all in, then they became really popular. Now the company can't make them quick enough, and they can't get them in. And, it's similar to what you're saying there, but yeah, what a thrill that must have been to see it work and to go off like that.
Yeah, it was. I mean, the other really thrilling thing is that we went down to Cardiff because one of the parts of our offer is that we would pay for extra photography, because I don't know if you've worked on anything like this, but when film companies do photography, the problem was always that the stills photographer is in the wrong place, because the cameraman is, the one who's filming the episode is in the right place, and he can't, and the stills photographer can't stand it. So he's always over to the side taking a picture where you get people on opposite sides of the frame and then in the middle, and you never got a nice portrait. So we arranged to do it so that we would have our own little studio set up off to the side, and all the actors would go and pose. And you could see that some of them really enjoyed doing that. But yeah, so I went down to Cardiff and I walked onto the TARDIS, which is, that's always a thing.
Yeah.
I've done it a few times now, but the first time you're like, oh, I'm in the TARDIS. And then
pretty special.
We met David very briefly, and he was excited by seeing the cards. We hadn't seen him on screen at that point. He was,
you're right. Yeah.
And that was that's another kind of little moment of it becoming something special for me personally.
Yeah, brilliant.
That is very special. Are you a Doctor Who fan, Ben?
Oh yeah.
Of course.
I mean, I grew up. My probably one of my earliest memories is of episode 4 of Robot, when the Doctor drives between the legs and throws a bucket of wash-out liquid onto the robot, and it goes
corrosive stuff.
Yeah, and I didn't miss an episode between that and going to university, so I kind of dipped out when Sylvester started because I was away, and it was also kind of like I felt at the time it wasn't really being made for me at that point.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't miss an episode. I mean, I used to make my parents divert travel and things like that. Yeah, we can't leave. No, we can't go until I've seen this. I desperately need to see what's going to happen with that. You've done the big mansion.
If you don't watch it live, you've missed it. It's gone. That's it.
That was it. Yeah.
I mean, we did the figurine collection, and I remember saying to Neil, who was the editor, I was saying, it was always the Doctor Who monster book was my inspiration, because that was the way I knew the monsters. That was if they were in that book, you had some kind of vision of them.
The Target book was it? Was that the one with?
Obviously, I read all the novelizations as well. So I mean, it's so difficult to explain to people that you couldn't see these stories.
Yeah.
Missing episodes were everything that happened last year and before at that point.
Yeah.
That's true.
They were all missing.
They're all missing episodes. Yeah.
Until the 20th anniversary, and there was that. They took over BBC Two. And that, but yes. I mean, I'm
big fan. Yeah.
I am a big fan. I have other fandoms. I mean, my Star Trek knowledge is at a kind of city level, because I've worked on that for 25, 30 years now.
Yeah, you do that, don't you? Yeah.
Whereas by Doctor Who, I can't quite remember the name of the actor who played the third pterodactyl.
That's disappointing.
I know, it's very disappointing.
Yeah.
On Star Trek, I'm much better. I'm pretty clear about that kind of stuff.
Brilliant.
That does inform the cards. Actually, it's part of it. I want that image on a card. I want a Cyberman lifting a manhole cup.
Because I suppose in some ways, I mean, as well as the game elements, the artwork is a significant part of it, and that's part of the excitement factor for kids of this generation. This is their monster book, right? This is where they're seeing these monsters and heroes up close.
Yes, that's exactly my thinking. I mean, when we did, this was years ago, 20 years ago, so we had quite substantial budgets for research. So what we did was we looked at all the different trading card games that were out there, and we rapidly discovered that they were incredibly complicated. And I went to a trading card fair in Germany, in Essen, and there were like tables where they're instructing grown men how to play these games. And, we're going in like, no, I'm confused. I've lost my place. I don't know.
People our age now going, what's going on? I don't understand it.
Exactly. Well, already, I mean, this was 20 years ago, so I could even use that as an excuse then. So what we realised, though, was that what people were doing was they wanted to build a cool collection of their own cards. They didn't need to get all of them. That was key, that you didn't always have to have every single card. You just had to have better cards than your mate. That was the important thing.
That's the driver.
And that the card should look attractive. that there should be really strong imagery. So, a lot of cards only had an image in the top half of the card. And we really pushed to try and use as much of the card for the artwork as possible. And then, the gaming, it should be as simple as possible. And so what we did was we designed something that was more like a playing card. So the idea was you could play lots of different games. So we had to have things, not have a sonic screwdriver. But sonic screwdriver wouldn't have the same kind of ratings as the Doctor or the Master. So we threw those in as kind of like wild-eyed jacks.
Kind of
modifiers. Like, this has changed the game completely. If you you've got your Transmat card, you can escape. If you did, you can just be like, I've just activated the TARDIS recall, or whatever.
Just play that card.
Yeah, and then we had the whole thing so like poker, where you'd have, you have some cards that you can see and some that you can't, and you're challenging your opponent with your scores and they're responding with theirs. But then maybe if they turn out they've got a bonus card, then they choose to use it or not. But just try to keep it as simple as possible. And as much fun, and not massively complicated.
And you're right, because that is a thing with card games. Now, like I was saying before we started recording, I play Magic the Gathering, and Paul, you attempted it. It melted his brain, and
don't have the time, mate. Don't have the time.
Takes some dedication.
Yeah, and I play fairly regularly now, and there's still now. I'll have to look up what's this instruction on a card mean and things like that. Just can't remember it all. But that is sort of weirdly part of the fun of it, trying to figure out how things work. But something like Battles in Time here that is straightforward to play is
much more accessible.
And I agree, like you were saying about the cards. I think there's two sort of camps to card games. People who get them to play and people who just get them because they're cool. And son,
collectors.
And collectors, like when my son got into Pokemon, he was getting them to play, but fairly quickly he didn't want to play. He just wanted to collect, the special Cinderace card or whatever, And also, like you say, looking at the first Doctor here, you've used the whole space for the image, and like Magic cards are traditionally just in the top part, aren't they? But they now do like the full art cards, and the same with Pokemon as well. So these being like, straight out the pack are full art is really cool, I think, and helps make them stand out a bit. So how long did the first sort of iteration of the game run for? How far into the...
That's a good question. I'm going to say 3 years. I mean, it's a bit difficult because there's a lot of time when you're doing development work that doesn't see the light of day, and also it's 20 years ago, so my ability to calculate when I was doing...
I know that feeling.
I'm looking for dates here,
We can work it out, because when I went to Cardiff, they were filming The Age of Steel, so we could work out when that was. And then
2009 I've got here,
I think it should be earlier than that. It must be more like
Series 2, wasn't it, Age of Steel?
Yeah, season 2.
Sorry, no, the original run. I've just googled it.
2009. So it would have been 2007, 2008, 2009. But I would have been when they were out, and then the BBC issued their own cards, which was slightly disappointing. And then we moved on, and we moved on to do the figurine. Well, we did DVD files, actually.
Yeah.
Did DVD files, which was also a big success. And then the figurine collection. So, it's been pretty continuous for basically 20 years for me.
That's pretty good, isn't it? So the original lineup then, the original set of cards, how... Okay, so that kind of came to an end because BBC withdrew the license. They decided they're going to do their own thing in-house. Basically, we were doing new cards from every season, and then when we started, I mean, this is a sign of how much Doctor Who's changed. When we started, there was a kind of anxiety about connecting the new show, as it then was, with the classic. So interesting.
It was like, okay, we just want you to focus on the Ninth Doctor. Or the 10th by that point, the 9th, 10th Doctor, their new adversaries, their new villains. And then fairly rapidly that changed. So we did a set called Ultimate Monsters, which had a lot of the kind of dramatic, colourful monsters from the earlier series. I mean, that's interesting because, you know, what you've got there is that there's a new thing, there's collector sets, which is this is the first Doctor. And at the time, we were very worried about appealing to kids, you know, kids who were watching the new show. So we weren't going to give them a Susan card. You know,
they'd be like, "Who's this?
Who's Susan?"
Yeah,
I got Barbara right, actually. Yeah, who's Barbara?
We've got some different ones.
We can play this, Jeff.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the other thing there that made me laugh about by the time I was to say is where else could you hit Charles Dickens against William Shakespeare?
That's brilliant, isn't it? The possibilities are infinite, you might say.
Yeah.
So, I mean, how does the new set how does it differ from the old set? Is it wildly different? Are there subtle differences? Is it the same?
Can I precede that one with how did it come back? Because for, you know,
good one.
Paul, you've probably seen people as well. I'd love Battles in Time to come back, and you know, it's been long in demand. And I think a little while ago I saw someone on YouTube, maybe George Sheard or someone, but somehow got an old sealed box of, you know, 32 packs of cards or something.
Sealed?
And did a YouTube live opening or something, and unboxing, and it was really popular, you know. And Paul, you probably haven't seen these things, but my son would watch Pokemon, and they just rip through them, don't they, Ben? Going through the packets, and then they find something they like and go absolutely mental. You know, so that's what he did with these. So, you know, there was clearly a kind of demand for it and everything. So, how did it kind of come back around this time?
So so as I say, there was like the sequel was DVD Files, and then the sequel to that was Doctor Who Figurine Collection. And then Eagle Moss, which was a company. So the original ones were made by GFAB. We got bought by Eagle Moss, and eventually Eagle Moss, about 3 or 4 years ago, went bust. And various people, I talked to various people about the products that we had in development, or, you know, to say that I thought there was still a market for some of these things. And my new boss, Darren, had a long history with trading cards. And he was like, "Oh, you did these trading cards? They look, you know, they were a big deal. I remember that. So should we try and bring them back?" And I don't think any of us really had an idea how great the appetite was. You know, obviously it's been a slightly tricky time for Doctor Who recently. So, you know, there's a kind of wariness about things, but it does seem to really unite people, and to make people happy, which is ultimately the goal of all of this. So then in terms of how do they differ, the answer is as little as possible, except for the fact that they are designed with a kind of more adult card collector in mind.
Okay.
You know, the days when everyone went into the newsagent every week are long gone.
Yeah, well, there's not that many newsagents now, is there? I mean, when you said 32,000 newsagents previously, I don't know how many it is now, but not so many.
So they're now, you know, probably aimed a little bit more at kind of hardcore fans. I mean, they're still, you know, reasonably priced, but you know, that's another thing. People have to accept that that's 20 years later. Things have gone up in price.
They're not going to be $1.99 for a pack now, are they? Whatever.
And they were cheap at the time. I mean, we were very aware of how cheap they were at the time. So something like the first Doctor set, and there is a second Doctor set coming, and a third Doctor set, and so on and so on. It is being done probably more with less young men, like the three of us in mind. But also when you look at it, I mean, we finished the GE Fabric cards just before the David Tennant specials. So there was a lot. There was a lot to do. A lot of characters, a lot of true. And I think what I found about looking at it is going, oh God, that was really cool. That was really cool too. You know, it's a way of kind of looking back over the series, and you're thinking these are really, you know, I remember. I remember the Silence or the Carrier Knights or the, you know, whatever, and you think, oh yeah, no, I really, you know, it makes me want to get back and watch it. So, or sometimes, you know, particularly with the first or the second Doctor, they're like, oh, I've never actually seen that. You know, I mean, particularly the ones where the whole story was given to us. This is the thing. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
necessarily gone and watched them. So yeah, so that's the sort of difference, I guess, is there's a slightly more fanish kind of bent to them, but the cards are completely compatible. If someone still has 1,000 of the old ones, they can they can pick up the new ones
play.
and
Good.
just start playing. Yeah,
I think, you know, the audience for the show is you know, has grown, hasn't it? You know, like you're saying here, you know, we were all much younger and you know, our hair had colour back then, and you know, and
What are you saying, Jeff?
I'm not sure that, you know, there's many 9-year-olds, you know, watching the show now. You know, it's not on now, but do you know what I mean?
I don't know, mate.
I think there are. I think the difference is it's just that you can't. 9-year-olds don't go into newsagents.
Yeah,
exactly.
You know,
and they don't all jump on Twitter to mouth off how much they hate their latest series. So.
And also the whole toy world, as you probably know, is very different. You know, to what it used to be. You know, we know our character options, and we talk about it and stuff. And I even, you know, can see it. You know, when I take my kids into the shop. You know, like you know, a few years ago, even a bit longer. You know, for something like the Mario movie, you'd have had a whole range of figures. Now you get 4. You know, and they're really good. But there's not and even those are aimed at kind of grown up, collectors.
We are the generation discovered we didn't have to grow up.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I mean that, and you know, Doctor Who's a really good example of that. Is that you know, I was watching it. It's a sign of how little progress I've made. I was watching it very happily when I was 4 or 5, and still watching it very happily 50 years later. You know, so. You know, and some of that is that shows have aged up. I mean, you know, Doctor Who not so much. But if you look at Star Wars, for example, I mean, I've just got the art creating of Andor, which is a fantastic book.
Yeah.
And you're looking at that and thinking, God, Star Wars, this is, you know, it was so perfect for me when I went to see it in cinema. And then, you know, it's grown with me. It's now making this really sort of sophisticated, dark,
kind of thriller. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, with the new range of the cards, so it came first with the reintroduction set, didn't it? So, tell us a little bit about that one, and you know, what's kind of involved with that.
So that one is a reissue of a lot of the best cards from the original 1,000 or so cards.
Okay.
Plus new Doctors. So obviously what was missing in the BBC were very keen that we include all the Doctors that had not been featured on the card. I'm trying to remember whether we actually did all of them, because there was a bit of debate about the Fugitive Doctor and the War Doctor.
Right.
As to that. But yeah, so that's basically 80 cards, 72 cards that are reissued. They may have changed their rarity or whatever, but the scores stay the same. And then there are 8 new cards. And that was just kind of whet everyone's appetite. To remind people what it had been, and to basically give them a kind of starter deck, I guess. So it was.
And how did it go when that came out?
I believe it sold out.
Yes, wow, that's what I thought. Yeah.
So, yeah, it's done. I mean, I'm never quite sure. You know, sellouts is always a thing. There's always some shop somewhere that has some.
Yeah,
I might still have some on the website actually. But that's been, you know, that was very gratifying. Gave us an indication of how well this might do.
Yeah. And then after that, you had the Obliterator set come out, didn't you? So tell us a bit about that and what was involved in that.
So that's the really big. That's 142 cards. That's all new characters.
Yeah.
Or at least all new cards from the David specials onwards.
Okay.
So there's a lot of work. I mean, there's a lot of work going through. You have to make a list. The first thing to do is make a list of all the characters that have appeared. And you know, one of the tricks with trading cards is you do want some kind of not very exciting ones. You know, old woman on bus. You need to have that kind of like, you open it and go, oh, I've got old woman on bus.
Yeah, and I've got 10 of the old women. I've got a bus full of old woman on bus.
And sometimes, one time, there was like, oh yeah, this is David Tennant's father, and he liked that. So that's what Obliterator is. I mean, actually, Obliterator has been available through the websites and gone out to people.
Yes,
but
I'm just
actually,
looking
it's
at it on
only
here.
just about. We did a limited edition, so we do. So there's a little logo at the bottom, and we did a limited edition where that logo is printed in gold instead of silver, and that's exclusively available from the website. And literally, and I think very, very soon, imminently, they are going to hit B&M and everywhere.
Oh, okay.
The silver pot. So they are due soon.
Okay.
Wow. So that's quite interesting, isn't it? So we might have seen a reduction in the number of newsagents, but if you can reach out via mass merchandisers, then you should hopefully get the volume plus the online part of it as well.
It's a slightly different game, but but we know that lots of people going into B&M looking for that character options.
Yes, very, very good. Yeah. Oh, look, I remember those cards, and I'll just pick up a packet, and then I'm hooked. That's
just
how it goes.
The response, the limited edition set, which was like 1,000 boxes, has sold out now.
It's great. Yeah,
that's sold out. The first Doctor set is up. Now, that's what you have there. I'm very jealous. I haven't actually seen it printed yet.
Yeah.
So it's fabulous. Yeah.
You can kind of sleeves. They're already shiny. You're getting an extra.
Okay. That's
so you have a debate of like which are the most iconic. But also, can you clear
Celestial Toymaker?
The BBC have to be able to give us the right. So, and also because they were black and white, they're all printed on foil.
Yeah,
printed on silver foil, which makes them really nice. I think it's turned out.
I think they look absolutely brilliant. The foil on them is really nice, and
I don't want to take them out of their little plastic things though.
Put them back. But
they are got a monoid.
Yeah, I got a monoid. That's always my goal.
Yeah,
sneak a monoid into everything.
I love the monoids. Yeah, we should have more monoids.
Who did you get, Paul? So I got the first Doctor.
You should all have exactly the same. So on the first Doctor, they're like it's a predetermined set. It's not randomly sorted. So if you buy them, you get all 15.
I think we've got a split of the pack here.
We've got a split, haven't we?
Yeah.
So that's quite
I've got the Daleks, Susan.
Yeah, I've got Daleks. Yeah.
Cybermen. Oh, that's a cool one.
You've got Dalek
this one.
Squad.
Yeah, take that, Jeff. So actually, it kind of brings on to how to play it then, because what we've got, if I just kind of show this up, so we've got we've got a card and we've got a bunch of stats. So we've got green stats and we've got red stats. Presumably the green is positive. Just give us a brief how it works.
It's attack and defense.
Right,
so what happens is you choose a category.
Yeah.
And you call out your attack score.
So categories here, yeah.
And then your opponent has to look through their cards. I mean, depending on how you do it, because I was saying like you play all these kind of poker variations.
Yeah.
So you call out a green score and they had to call out a red score.
Right, got you. So if I called out, for example, on this one, intelligence, I need my glasses for this. That's a sign of getting old now, isn't it?
I can't play Magic without mine now.
So I would say, Jeff, intelligence, 8,500, I think that says. And how would he respond then? Would he just pick the top card?
Depending on how you were doing it, he would then either have one card or a selection of cards that he could choose from. And he could look at his cards and see whether he could beat that, looking at the red scores, and then decide what to do. But he might also have a bonus card that would allow him to change things. So he would be like, so if you've got something
like that. Yeah.
Say you've got the Doctor and someone has called on the fear factor. The Doctor, while hugely intelligent and has lots of special abilities, is not particularly scary.
No.
So you might be right, but he doesn't want to lose his Doctor card, so he plays his TARDIS card, so I'm going to escape.
Right, okay.
And that's how it works then. So literally, if I'd have beat Jeff then he would have to give me his card.
Depending on how tough you're being.
Fights breaking out. You're not having my Celestial Toymaker, mate. There's no chance.
Exactly. But there are also variations. So like with poker, well, what you might do is instead of having 5 cards each, you might have 3 cards in your hand, and then there are 2 cards. There's a pile of the remaining cards in front of you, and you take a risk and say, "Okay, I'm gonna play this card instead of the card I have." Or you might say, I've got a different. It's basically there are endless variations of kind of like poker, but you can play a very kind of quick and dirty, simple game where it's just red versus green. Threats.
And there's a top trumps sort of element to it, isn't there, with the intelligence, agility, and stuff, which when you were playing this when you were younger, would be great. And I really like it as well. It kind of adds a different dimension to it. It's not just attack and defense, and also I'll just say, I just showed us here, I hadn't realized initially, but the first Doctor text is textured on the bottom of the card, isn't
is it?
Yeah, it's slightly raised, which is really nice. Yeah. And also I must say, Ben, the print quality and the image is really
brilliant.
Sharp. You often think that the older Doctor stuff, the image quality is not there, but these look really good.
It's really good.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of work going through all the available images into thinking, this is a good enough image. I mean, the advantage was they could have card. I mean, they're big enough to be attractive.
Yeah,
they're not huge. It's not as bad as trying to do a magazine cover or something like that.
Yes.
Really pushing the image.
Yeah, that's a good point.
City Dalek, look at that. That's
brilliant. This is the thing, is we do know the difference between a Scar City Dalek and a Dalek.
Brilliant. It's fantastic.
That kind of part of the point is it's like a kind of, like I think you said earlier, it's like a kind of checklist.
Yeah, it's fans making it for fans. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. And they're numbered as well, aren't they? What's that? So this is like number 12, yeah?
They've got a couple of variations in them. So you can't really tell on that one, but that's numbered within the set.
Right.
So is that in the lower right corner? Zero.
Top left-hand corner is the number in the set.
Oh, yeah.
And then if you go down the bottom under your thumb, where it's of... So then
this one.
The other corner down there, that at the moment it's kind of the same because there are only 15 first Doctor cards.
Yeah.
By the time you get to the second Doctor card, there are 30 Doctor cards.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
The Patrick Troughton Doctor will be number 1, but he will also be number 16 of 30.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Okay.
So that says 006 of 015.
Yeah.
So that makes sense. Okay. So that all kind of adds to the collectability part of it as well, doesn't it? So.
Yeah. I mean, we found that people wanted to have like a unique card number for things.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. So this first Doctor set is coming out in September, isn't it? I believe.
Yes.
And it comes in a really nice sort of presentation box as well. And then you mentioned a second Doctor set. So what's the plan? Every couple of months there'll be a new Doctor set?
Exactly that. No more complicated than that. Just have to choose all the right companions and monsters. Like, have we got rights to do Fraser Hines? Can't do the second Doctor and not do Jamie.
Yeah.
We get the rights, but we did. So that's exciting. But then it was like, if we don't do Jamie, should we do Zoe?
Yes.
Yeah, because
then weird to do Zoe, not do Jamie.
Yeah,
because again, people want those Doctor Companion full sets, don't they? So if there's one that you can't, I mean, have you ever run into? You don't have to be specific, but have you ever run into a block through licensing? So
we do. I mean, it happened to us on the figurine collection as well. And it's not a lack of willingness to cooperate or anything like that. It's just that they can't find figures in states, or there's nothing like that. So the thing we always wanted to do on the figurine collection, and it will come up on the trading cards as well, is all the ambassadors from Dalek Master Plan.
Oh,
so it's like, no, you can't do them. We don't have the rights.
That must be so annoying.
That is frustrating. Some fan will make their own, I'm sure.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
The sort of custom, the underground market, if you like, which we don't need to know about officially, but it's
exactly, it's out there.
So with the Obliterator range, will there be another kind of branded set of cards after that, or will that sort of carry on?
No, there will be something. So Obliterator, there are 142 cards. They'll be available for a few months, and then there'll be something else, which I'm actually quite excited about what something else is.
Ooh, he's not going to tell us, are you?
No, I'm not 100% sure it's going to happen. It's like that kind of 98% sure it's going to happen.
Right.
But it would also it would be very much that thing we talked about with checklists. It would be, are there really that many? And have you got them all? What about that one?
Well, I see here in the Obliterate set, for example, 2 Vortex cards, 40 rare rainbow foil cards, 6 box topper jumbo cards, 10 super rare hollow foil cards, and 90 common cards. So in Magic, for example, you'll get a card, and then there'll be a foil variation of it, and then sometimes a full art card or whatever. how does it work with battles? Is that there's literally 2 cards that are in hollow?
No, each card has its unique finish.
Yeah.
So you are either a rare card or a common card or a super rare card.
Yeah.
And that means you are printed on foil or hollow foil or whatever. And there isn't, if you've got a silver version of something, there isn't a regular print version.
Right.
It's
So
only that version.
that's good. Yeah. So you could be chasing that specific card, but not have to worry about ending up with multiple of the alternate or something. Yeah.
And the Vortex cards are actually go across all the different sets, so they'll always be available, but they're very, very rare.
Okay.
So they're in 700 and something, one in every 700 and something packs.
Oh, really? Oh, that is rare.
They're metal, and I haven't actually seen the final ones yet. They're really cool.
Ooh.
Oh, that's special, isn't it?
That goes back to something we did on the original collection. We did the Super Rose card, which was, there was 1 in 1,000 packs, which we figured meant that there would be 1 in every school.
Yeah.
Was the hope. There'd be 1 in school, and then we worried that kid would get.
Yeah. I'm looking at Jeff's face now, and he's contemplating taking out another mortgage.
Yeah, this is bad for me.
Oh, you're going to hunt them down across the world.
Not quite as
collectors fair, convention circuit, that kind of thing.
Right.
But I think having that kind of something really special really does sort of it motivates people and gives them something.
Yeah, it creates a buzz, doesn't it, around the whole thing, and it just gives them a life other than the card itself. It's a whole thing.
I mean, I'm not sure whether to. I always think there's a kind of excitement for people to discover what the cards are. It's like, but like what I will say is that we had on the original kind of equivalent of the Vortex card was the Super Rose card. So we had to think very hard
about
which cards would be so special that you would really want to chase them.
I've just looked up Super Rose.
Have you? And
well, let me just put it this way: there's one for just under 800 quid on eBay. Have you got any knocking around there, Ben?
You can get them for less than that.
Yeah, mate, 130 maybe. That looks really cool.
Yeah.
Right, I'll come over to Twitter.
Some
We've
questions.
got a few questions here. Yeah, so some of these we sort of tackled, like TARDIS Time asked, are you able to choose any characters to become a card, or was only you weren't allowed to use? Dalek Nation said, using the First Doctor set as an example, will there be a limited amount of cards for each era, or do you plan to release more cards that feature other characters in the future? So not just limited to 15 for each era. So
yeah. So the idea with that is, yes, the 15, those particular cards will only be available in that set. But that doesn't mean that we wouldn't do, trying to think of a good example. All the ones I think of are in the set. It doesn't, we'd do a Steven card that was available in one of the other sets, for example.
Okay.
Or the Daleks might turn up more than once.
Okay.
Like a different of the same kind of doing.
Yeah.
Doctor Who TC asks, are there going to be any lenticular cards in the future?
Oh, that's a good question.
We haven't, not at the moment, but I definitely wouldn't rule it out. It's on the list of things.
Okay. All right.
They're quite special, aren't they? I remember them from the 70s, There's just something about them, you sort of turn them around. It's like, whoa.
Because we did Scratch and Sniff, we had Slovene Fart.
Yeah, because Luke Smith has said, bring back Scratch and Sniff.
Scratch and Sniff, I saw that one.
I don't think we've really had anyone with a very distinctive smell since the Slovene.
Well, that'd be a bit of fun there.
It helps if you smell of ammonia.
Yeah.
So vinegar and what have you. So. Lovely. I thought he was joking there when he said that. So I didn't realise there actually had been.
Slovene Fart card.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did wonder.
Lovely.
But I thought, no, he must be being serious there. Yeah, it's quite a specific thing. Yeah. So Jim of the Endless said, what are your plans for streamlining the production and delivery processes? Is there anything you can talk about on that? Because I think that
it's really just the way the business works now that you can either hold off and only announce them when they're available in stores, and then various people complain they didn't have any warning and didn't have a chance to get ready, or you can give them a bit of a pre-announcement. I think there will be the kind of pre-order timeline on this will be relatively short. I know it's frustrating not being able to just get them instantly, but it's kind of the way the business works now.
And it's the same with a lot of things, isn't it? You know, I think, you know, stuff gets announced so that there can be a bit of a gauge of demand,
pre-order,
you know, to how much to make, you know.
Yeah, that's part of it. That's definitely part of it. But yeah, there will be, I mean, you know, they don't worry, they're on the way. They will be here.
Okay, cool. And then a lot of people are wanting Sarah Jane Adventure cards.
Oh, we did those.
They didn't get the chance to get them. So
shot at it.
I think did I have someone? Let me just check my phone. Someone on Instagram asking about it as well. Maybe.
So did you do a whole run of SJA?
We did. We did. I mean, it was shorter. Obviously, there weren't like 1,000 cards from, but we did a Torchwood set. We did SJA set. Yeah.
And was it all compatible? Same sort of gameplay with it?
Yes, all the same gameplay. You could combine them. The only thing is the back was different, so you'd know you had a Sarah Jane card rather.
Yeah. And will there be plans to do more like that, or does it sort of depend how it all does?
I mean, there's no reason not to. I mean, the licensing is slightly different. You know, you have to get Sarah Jane Adventures added to your license, which isn't automatic.
You're right. Okay.
The fact that we'd already done Sarah Jane made me sort of assume that people wouldn't be as much of an appetite for it. But go to the Master Replicas social and petition.
That's the thing. I think, you know, you got to buy the stuff and then tell people that you want it, because you don't automatically know, do you?
Yeah. Give us some proof.
We could get a War Between Land and Sea variant as well.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's fair enough. I mean, it's just whether you mix them in or do them as a completely special thing. Quite sure. I mean, I think if we could be out with something when it was on air, then you know that there's a degree of excitement.
Ideal.
But if you go to B&M and say, "Hey, we're going to do this War Between Land and Sea," and they're like, "Oh, well, that was
what was that?"
Yes, or even more so, Sarah Jane. You know.
Yeah. Whereas Doctor Who, always visibly, even though it's not on TV for a year or two, or however long it's going to be. And I think things like this kind of keep the conversation going. They keep Doctor Who current. They keep us talking about it online and interacting and everything else. And it's all good, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, I've always thought that one of the things that merchandise does is, you know, the program is over. You've watched it. Even these days, you can go back and watch it again.
Yeah.
But then you still, you know, you can put something on your desk.
Yep.
You know.
Oh, look at that. Oh, you dropped that one in.
But you know, that ability to kind of keep it alive and keep it going is you know, part of the point of buying stuff.
Yeah.
You know, is that it doesn't just end when the credits roll.
Yeah.
It stays alive, isn't it? It's in the playgrounds at schools. Well, in the office at work, even.
Indeed,
talking about playgrounds
these days, as much as
exactly. There's not much difference these days between those two environments.
Yeah. So, out of the cards that you're, you know, working on at the moment, is there something that you're particularly excited about, or one that you know, had
really proud of?
Long wanted to do?
Well, I am very chuffed to have done the Monoid. I mean, there's a thing about, like, I mean, there's a certain silliness to the Monoids.
I love the Monoids. I mean, it's from a great adventure anyway. You know, the Ark. If you've never seen it, you absolutely need to see that.
I mean,
story.
I did want to. I was quite keen to do Chumblies.
Oh yeah, from Galaxy 4. Yeah,
same kind of way, but. I think they were the wrong shape for the card, really. They were quite difficult.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Well, we're just about to start. We're just about to start on something I'll tell you about, which is exciting.
Ooh.
Which is really like a massive research project.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like I'm giving such a big clue so that someone will be able to work that. I'm sure someone will work that.
They will. They will analyse this podcast.
Yeah.
They will freeze it. They'll play it back.
They're like, they'll say that could only be. I mean, I've always, to me, what can I say? In the second Doctor set, I mean, I'm very pleased with doing Jamie. Obviously, I'm very pleased with Zoe. I've always really liked Zoe as a character. Kind of feel there should be more companions who are as clever as the Doctor, more clever than the Doctor. I mean, that's the debate you
Yeah.
have with the BBC. It's like, who's cleverer?
Yeah.
Is
Oh,
this
That's
person-
true.
Does,
Yeah.
does it
so
get
we
down
could-
to that on the numbers?
Oh, absolutely. We spent
Really?
ages going over, is
Yeah.
Ray's cleverer than Jamie?
Oh man,
Uh,
I would love to be part of those
Yeah.
conversations. Honestly,
Oh,
I would give
but they
my
can
right arm to
spiral
me.
off. I mean, you can be into like, oh, I think this person's cleverer than this person, or tougher, or
Yeah.
whatever.
And then do you ever get that thing where if you close the conversation and it's all agreed, then you get home and you think, no, wait, because, and then you're on the WhatsApp texting a group saying, all right, guys, you forgot about this. So no, it's not what we said.
Yeah, I mean, the BBC are very keen. Mel was as clever as Zoe, and I'm kind of like, well, it's not my show, so I don't really know, but Zoe's really clever.
Zoe's very clever. She makes the second Doctor look like an idiot at times, which is so much fun.
Well, but he does pretend to.
He does, yeah. He plays into that.
He does, but then I mean, I know you have things like how scary are the Doctors, because
Yeah.
or how scary. I mean, how scary is Jamie? I keep going back to Jamie because
There's something there, isn't there?
How scary is the Brigadier? He's a man with a gun.
Yeah.
Compared to a Dreg or something like that. Not that scary compared to a Sontaran.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you have to. Do you do those sort of ranking?
A massive
things
Excel sheet where you can sort it in order, and so you go through I'm going through the intelligence scores. Is that person clever? That person. The one I had real sort of I mean, I gave way. I was the BBC are always right, but was the Doctor cleverer than Rassilon?
Wow.
And I'm like, Rassilon and Omega invented time travel. I mean, that's a pretty big deal.
Yeah. And it was
But
Rassilon's
the Doctor
game.
can outwit them.
That's true. But this is true. So Rassilon in the Five Doctors, it was Rassilon's game. That was the challenge that had to be overcome, and there was that twist at the end. But then the Doctor was clever enough to kind of play into that and see the way through the solution almost right at the end. So, and then of course 12th Doctor as well. He gets Rassilon banished from Gallifrey.
I mean, there's a fair argument for saying the Doctor is cleverer. It's just, I guess there's more than one type of intelligence.
Yeah. Well, I think Rassilon's thing is hubris, isn't it? From what we've seen, anyways. That's the kind of modifier, regardless of how intelligent you might be.
Those are the kind of that's the kind of image that we get into when I'm looking at these extras. I don't know, is he really? Well, the Doctor does outwit him, and he is clever. I was like, fair enough. The Doctor is cleverer than anybody.
Count Scarlione, where does Count Scarlione? Do you have Count Scarlione and Scaroth, or do you play the two together? What about things like that then? Where
is
you've
it
got
the
a
same
duel.
person? Does he have exactly the same scores?
Well, true.
You get into that. I mean, also the BBC were like, they think that the first Doctor is not quite as intelligent as the 12th or 13th. Well, he's got some sexist attitudes. And that's also true. It's like when someone regenerates, do they stay exactly the same?
Yeah,
that's a good point. Yeah,
that's a good point.
Certainly some of them were a bit scarier than some of the others.
Yes, I would say 12 would have quite a
definitely
high.
more scared of
12 would scare me.
Or Pete Davis.
No guarantee you'd survive in the 12th Doctor's company, is there really?
Absolutely not. No.
Or the 6th, maybe.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of that kind of, but it's not. Those scores are not random. I mean, they're open to debate.
Yeah.
I'm sure there are a lot of people like us who would sit and go, I'm not too sure about this, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And of course, we've got the legacy of 1,000 cards we did before, and you're like,
well, indeed.
We got that wrong, looking back at it.
I've got a question, Ben. There's 3 Gallifreyan symbols on the card, so I'm seeing red, green, and silver. So what do they?
Oh, yeah.
They're for sort of special gameplay. That's to do with putting characters in decks and stuff like that. So some of the bonus cards say if you have this symbol on you, if you have 2 green symbols, then or you can do that.
Okay,
that's going to be fun, isn't it?
I tried when I designed the cards originally 20 years ago. I tried to put as many options for gameplay on there as possible.
Yeah.
So I mean, what we found was that basically people make up their own.
Yeah.
And the more sort of ways you gave them to do that, the better.
Yeah.
And obviously, when you look at your magic cards or your whatever, those kind of things, they have the fire and the earth. And
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit mana-like,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
stuff like that. So there was a bit of thinking about that on there as well.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm looking at this one because the Celestial Toy Maker has got 3 red.
Yeah, they don't
Gallifreyan
really
symbols
mean anything
there.
too specific unless you decide.
Mm.
It could
That's
be it
interesting
could
as
be
well.
a negative or a positive, could
They're
that, I
just
suppose,
different.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
a way.
If you got 3 red, then minus 50 intelligence points or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you've
Well,
left
that's
it
quite
on
fun. I mean, I can see myself getting into this, which is always, I think, a good
Yes.
kind of indicator of how it's going to go, because I don't have the patience of my good friend Jeff, unfortunately, for really complicated card games. I just want to get into it, start playing, and I'd imagine if the more people who can do that, the more successful it's going to become. And I think, just as something which occurred to me as well, because a big difference between now and 20 years ago is that the online social space is much more crowded and much more voluminous than it ever was back then. I think we only had Facebook back in 2006. So now, are you expecting quite a groundswell of online chit-chat?
I don't know. I'm an old man.
It's going to happen.
I mean,
I do see it, yeah.
I mean, I think yes. I mean, there is obviously a way people engage with it that is true, and I'm sure that there'll be a lot of unboxings, as you said. There'll be people
Yeah.
this or this or this. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I mean, as I say, we're expecting more of the buyers to be grown-ups rather than kids. But there's nothing that would stop there's nothing there that would put off an interested 9-year-old.
Yeah.
And I think also what you find, which is really touching, actually, is that it's quite often a family thing.
Yeah.
That for a lot of people, you think of sports families where people go into the football with their dad or whatever, and they bonded over that. I had a message from someone the other day, which I was really touched by, about saying how that he and his father had bonded over Doctor Who trading clubs.
Hey.
Yeah. And my dad died a long time ago, and those kind of connections are really important.
Yeah.
That sitting with your loved ones to enjoy something together.
Yeah.
It's more significant than just watching a TV show.
Yes.
No, I agree. I can see my daughter getting into this as well. Freya, she's just, again, she would find this, like me, quite easy to get into and start playing straight away. So
yeah, that was the idea.
Yeah.
And do you have is there an RRP on the sets yet, or is that still to be decided?
I'm gonna get it wrong if I say it, so I don't want to do that. I don't want to get it wrong.
We can find out.
Yeah, we can check. Yeah, so the first Doctor set, like I said, is September. When's the second Doctor set going to be going out? Are you doing every 2 months?
Every 2 months.
Okay, so they'll be fairly regular then.
Yeah, they'll be regular. Yes.
Okay.
So come Christmas, we can have a good
Doctor and so on.
Yeah. And are you doing them in order, or are you going sort of classic, modern?
Okay.
I mean, they're for serious people who know.
Yeah,
People who know them monoid. You know the difference between a monoid and a sensoid.
Yeah.
Well, sensoid food.
Oh, they've got so much so much good stuff to come.
Yeah.
Finding those things out. Yeah. Brilliant
Well,
stuff.
that's also part of it. I think, you talking about your daughter. I mean, I remember, one of the things we saw in the focus groups with this was that people would say, oh, the parents understood, it was something the parents understood that the kids were doing.
Yeah.
Mums were like going, oh, I don't watch it. And then they tell you the story in extreme detail.
Yeah.
But they would be like, they could say, oh, you wait till you see Davros,
Yeah.
That's really scary. And that's something, I think a lot of times parents felt that their kids were into sort of incomprehensible stuff. It was Japanese or it was, all this kind of online stuff that is really quite out there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think that's the hope, is that it's quite a kind of a personal connection thing. I mean, it's more than just knowing who the monoids are.
Yes, yeah. Well, Ben, thank you very much for joining us today to talk about this, and for our listeners, thanks for submitting the questions. I get the feeling, Paul, that you might be interested in having a go at this. And get Freya involved
I am
as well.
yeah, Do you know, I'm excited for two things. I'm excited for the cards themselves, but I was also quite excited by the packet they arrived in, which said to Paul Doctor Who. So I've kept that. So thank you very much for that.
Yeah, yeah. Mine said Jeff Doctor Who, and my wife said, "What's that?" And when the packet came, and I showed her, she was like, "Oh right, okay, yeah."
She's carried on with her daily business.
Yeah.
No, I'm looking forward to getting stuck into these. I'm looking forward to more sets when they arrive as well. And I considerably I wish you the best of success for this. You don't need it from me. I've got no doubt in my mind that it's going to take off like an absolute storm. So I can't wait to see what happens when it all lands.
Yeah, and if you would, Ben, come back another time when there's another, main range or some more, doctors, and we can catch up on things and perhaps have a game online as well with it.
Yeah, we can. We'll get some cards and have a big game.
Yeah, that'd
be
be
great.
Be humiliating.
He'll beat us though, you know that, don't you, right?
Yeah. What about tactics? Yeah.
You'll have all these prototype modifiers that they're looking at launching next year. You'll just play those.
I'll have pre-sorted my cards. I'll be
Yeah, I feel the need to deck build. Yeah.
I've got a deck of purely Daleks and Doctors.
Whoa!
That's the odd Time Lord.
Brilliant stuff, Ben. Thank you so much for jumping on today. Really appreciate it.
Real pleasure. Always nice to talk to people who have the same passions.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks, mate. Fantastic. Yeah. Brilliant. Listeners, watchers, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time, won't we, Jeff?
Yeah. Yep. See you then. Take care. Bye for now.
Bye for now.